Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on learning how to read and play melodies in standard music notation. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in, and you can feed a music teacher. So I'll leave a link for Melody Guitar 2 in the description. We're on pages 66 and 67, and we have a new duet, All the Pretty Little Horses. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. On page 66, we have a new duet. This is number 129, All the Pretty Little Horses. It's in common time, same as 4/4 time. It's marked andante, which is kind of a medium slow tempo. The play through was at quarter equals 85. But you could play a little faster or a little slower if you like, as long as it's around that tempo. This one has a bit of a roadmap to follow, and it's 2 pages, so watch out for that. This has a DC al fine, so you play through the first page, then you play through almost all of the second page, but notice at the end of the second to last system, there's a DC al coda. So the DC, the capo, takes you back to the very beginning, and then we're going to be looking for the 2 coda markings. So we jump back to the beginning after that measure, and then we can see after the third system, I should say at the end of the third system, there's the 2 coda marking. So after that measure, we jump back to the bottom of page 2. There's our coda. And while we're looking at the coda, notice in the third measure of the coda, there is a fermata above beat 1. So both parts are going to hold that note out, and then somebody's going to cue the next note. Usually it's guitar 1, and then there's a fermata over the last note as well. Let's take a look at the guitar 1 part. You have the melody for the first half of this duet, and we have an A to an E, and then 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now all that is just a little bit of a scale going downward with a dotted quarter note there. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So if you can recognize when you have skips and steps, that's going to help you, especially when you're just sight reading. In other words, reading something for the first time. Second line starts as the first line, and it ends almost the same as the first line. As a matter of fact, we just go A, instead of A, B like we did in the first line. Then the music changes character a little bit in the third system. Notice we have some staccatos, so you want to cut those notes short. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then we have our dotted quarter note and then our descending eighth notes here again, just like we had before. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then we have our our staccato quarter notes. Be ready to reach up to this high A. And we have a descending line again. This time it just starts on the high A. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then we skip to A. And then in the last system of the first page, guitar 2 has the melody, so now we have something a little different. We have some long notes. Make sure you're counting through the long notes so you stay in sync with guitar 2. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So nothing too tricky there. Again, you just need to count so you both stay in sync. And by the way, a lot of times when one of the parts has that descending line, the other part has the same descending line in octaves or maybe in thirds. In other words, playing a little bit of harmony, but the same rhythm. So if everybody is counting their part, hopefully everybody lands on those measures at the same time and is playing together. Moving on to the second page of Guitar 1, we have some more half notes again. Make sure you're counting through your half notes. Second system of the second page, you got a half note on beat 1, I should say half note rest on beat 1 of that measure. And what's happening here is guitar 2 is playing the melody. You're playing the melody as well, just an octave higher and 2 beats later. So make sure you're counting here. So it's going to be 1, 2 in the staccato. 1, 2. 1, 2. And next line, same thing. You have a half rest on the beat 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to check out the last two measures on this page, the last two measures of System 2 and System 3. Guitar 1, well, I'm going to look at System 2. Guitar 1 has that dotted eighth rhythm, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. You have a half note, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So don't let that single eighth note that guitar 2 plays fool you. You're still holding out the half note, and then you make sure you're coming in right on beat 3. Don't jump the gun. So guitar 2 is playing 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and you're playing 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So just be ready for that. Anyway, at the end of that third system, we have our DC al Coda, so we jump back to the beginning, play through the last measure of the third system of that first page, and then we jump to our Coda. So here we are at the Coda. We have some staccato quarter notes again, and again, you're playing the melody now. Then you have a high A with the fermata, so hold that, and then whoever is going to cue the next part, watch them, or if you are the cuer, you cue them for the last bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a fermata there as well. Let's take a look at guitar 2 now. In the first page, guitar 2 is playing a whole lot of the new low notes and is playing a harmony part. So we start off with low A and then some staccato low E's. The easiest way to play those low E staccato, especially since they're open notes, is just to touch the string again with your pick. Then measure 3 is playing the same thing guitar 1 is playing, just an octave down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Then we have a staccato low E, low G, and then same notes as you had at the beginning. Staccato. And again, here you're playing in unison, in octaves, I should say, with guitar 1. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Third system, we have some staccatos. So make sure that C and the E are short. Third measure of the second system, you're playing the same rhythm as guitar 1, just different notes. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and E. E. Then staccatos again. And then again, we are playing same rhythm, different notes as guitar 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, then low A. In the last system of this page, you have the melody, although you're playing it an octave lower than guitar 1 was playing earlier. So we start on the low A to the E. Here's this familiar rhythm and passage. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving on to the next page, you still have the melody. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I mentioned during the guitar 1 tips, at the beginning of the second system on page 67, you, guitar 2, have the melody now, but you're playing it 2 beats earlier than guitar 1. So guitar 1 is going to be echoing. You're going to be playing down the octave. Guitar 1 is up the octave. We have staccato notes again. That's your low E to G, low A to C, in this familiar part. Staccato melody again. Now play an A. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and low A. And as I mentioned already, we have a DC al coda. We jump back to the very beginning of the other page, and then at the end of the third system of that page, we jump to the coda. So coda here we have, and you no longer have the melody, you're playing a harmony part here. So staccato, then an F with the fermata. So just watch each other, and whoever is cueing, watch them for the next part. Now A, E, then low A, and there's a fermata there. So both guitar parts hold that until somebody cuts it off. Your assignment is to practice both parts for All the Pretty Little Horses on pages 66 and 67. As always, work on keeping a steady tempo by playing along with the video or play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. And don't forget to order your own copy of Melody Guitar 2. You can watch all the videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn with your own copy of Melody Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link in the description. Take your time with this, and then when you're ready, I'll see you on page 67 with another new duet.